Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day here. And we've got a fun one for you guys in today's video. We are, of course, in the Halloween event, and we're going to go over how to beat this event on insane difficulty. If you guys were there for the live stream, I gathered up a few random people from chat, so thank you and a huge shout out to everyone who joined me. But we actually managed to beat this on our third attempt with a little bit of teamwork and some slight adjustments along the way, all of which we're going to go over in this video. Now, starting off with my first piece of advice, and it should come as no surprise, but play as a team. Now, of course, this may be a little bit difficult for newer players or players who don't necessarily have a lot of friends who particularly play this game, which is why I am going to link my Discord in the description of this video, as well as have a few live streams where we gather up a few of you who, have yet to beat this on insane difficulty and try to carry you through it. Now, after you have assembled your team, you're going to want to discuss your ship lineup. Now, this, of course, is the lineup that we decided to go with, and it worked really well for us. Just note that many different people have completed it with different lineups. This is not the absolute way you have to do it. And if you have completed it on insane difficulty, let me know what you used in the comments below. This is the build I went with for the cruiser, fully spec'd into your HE, fire chance, HE damage, and your reload. But more importantly for the cruiser was this perk right here. Now, I initially switched it for the reload booster and the heal, as I thought that would be a little bit better. But after Toy explained to me that this perk does damage to any fire set, regardless of whether or not it's by you or another teammate, I went ahead and switched back to this one. Which brings me to the next essential perk that you must alternate with your teammates, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more during the in-game footage, is this perk right here for the battleship. The biggest key to victory that we found was alternating these consumables, with the heal or the shield being the most important. We predetermined that our Battleship 1, aka Jaxed, in this example was going to pop his shield first, and then Death, our second battleship, was going to pop it 5 to 10 seconds after. So if you're looking at the cooldown time, we basically had shield for 80% of the time that we were fighting the enemies. So without further ado, let's get right into the gameplay. Now, this first stage here, when you're just fighting a few of the cruisers in the bay, is relatively simple. But as you can see here, Jax went ahead and popped his shield, so we are all protected. You don't want to lose health, especially in the cruiser, unnecessarily. Now, getting later into the gameplay, you do actually get a few blessings, as they are called in this event. And basically, for the cruiser, you get the option to regenerate all of your health or do some additional damage. We found it best to save any blessings you get towards the end of the game, which is why it is essential, even from the onset of this first little stage here, that the battleship pop their heal, or their shield, rather. Now that you have the battleships alternating the shields, what you want to have next is the cruisers alternating the fiery explosion perk. Toy and I were communicating back and forth. We were setting multiple different fires on multiple different targets, and as soon as we had 3, 4, 5 fires on a few different ships, we went ahead and popped our button, as you can see here. And as you can see, you pretty easily work your way through this initial stage. Now, this next part is when it gets a little bit complicated. Team game, so. All right. Now, you will see throughout this mode, we don't absolutely follow the strategy of one team to the left and one team to the right, but the way that I wanted to break this down was one cruiser and battleship go left, one cruiser and battleship go right. With your destroyer essentially playing free safety in the middle of the field there, his job was just to get torpedoes on target and do as much damage as he could, just roaming throughout the field. Now, we did give Dragon a little bit of a sub-goal of trying to damage the true behemoth before it kind of made its push. At a certain point in the game, and some of you may know if there's a time during this mode that it happens, but the behemoth will start to push the prisoner. Now, Wargaming actually just came out with an update before this footage was caught on the live stream there, and the prisoner used to move during the insane difficulty. That has since changed. So the strategy of keeping one of the battleships close to the prisoner at all times is going to be even more effective after this change. So yes, you want to have your two teams of battleships, and cruisers, one to the left, one to the right, but go ahead and just have one of the battleships stay within, 2 or 3 kilometers, of the prisoner. But that is essentially it, guys. Break up into two teams, one on the left, one on the right, with one of the battleships staying close to the prisoner. Alternate the shield perk and the fire perk, communicating with your teammate, if you will. And basically just do as much damage and have as much fun as you can. Now, we're going to leave this to the live comm so you guys can enjoy us beating this on insane mode, but we're going to talk a little bit more at the end and go over a few final things. Now, once again, if you are struggling with this mode, I am going to link my Discord so you guys can go in there and just type in general, say, hey, I'm looking to complete insane mode. I want to play a destroyer or want to play battleship, whatever you want to play. Does anybody want to join up with me? On top of that, we're going to do a few live streams where you guys can join up in looking for division. We're going to try and carry a few of you to the insane difficulty victory. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope those tips were helpful. Once again, there's multiple different ways to complete this. We just found this to be the most effective. And considering we completed it in the third try, while the prisoner was still moving, and once again, Wargaming kind of came out with a soft patch to fix that, I would consider this strategy to be relatively effective. Again, team up, communicate with your teammates, utilize the shield perk, utilize the fire explosion perk, and don't, just blindly rush into the enemies. As you can see here, I'm sort of taking this defensive position, although in one of the earlier rounds, I was completely broadside to the true behemoth. He's lingering menacingly. Fire button in now. 20 seconds. Got him. Yeah. It's fine. Okay. That's a good idea. Work. In range. Far range.
I'm not afraid of you. You've just learned that you can die from my butt.
We got enough fires yet? No, never mind. He's not on fire anymore. Okay. This final part here is probably the hardest part of the entire event. You have to kill the behemoth before it reaches the prisoner and then survive for 2 minutes. And if you guys ask my fiance, surviving for 2 minutes is a very difficult task. But not only that, because after you kill the behemoth, a mass swarm of enemy ships spawns. So this is when you want to use all of your blessings if you have accumulated them. But as you guys can see here, we have a little bit of a crossfire set up. Toy unfortunately gets yeeted, but it's okay because we have some good defensive positions. Jaxed is there in his battleship. We also have Death near the prisoner in his battleship. And once again, we have Dragon in the destroyer just doing anything and everything he can, being a little pest that destroyers are. But a huge shout out to these guys. And here, I almost get yeeted as well as our shields just get turned on, but that is when you see me utilize my blessings. And sometimes they switch between the left bumper and the right bumper, or the R2 and L2, so just keep that in mind. You can also press the little menu button if you want them to hide, but I was just so focused on trying to eliminate the behemoth and utilize as much DPM as possible before the final 2 minutes are activated once we eliminate him. As we mentioned, this is the most difficult part and the part you are probably going to have to attempt 2 or 3 times, but with the recent soft update that Wargaming added, the prisoner does not move. Previously, he would YOLO rush into, the last remaining enemies, but according to them, the prisoner will no longer move, and the prisoner now will always be a battleship on insane difficulty, which is a huge bonus as you get the added health that the battleship does have. But now that the behemoth is eliminated, the horde is here, and just like Captain Mifune in The Matrix, we have to defend to our last breath. I had to throw that in there, the masculine urge to go out guns a-blazing in a last stand there against all odds. But very similar to that, all you have to have is one person survive here and you will defeat this event on the insane difficulty. Now, a few things to note before we go here. The prisoner will no longer be a destroyer as the soft patch that Wargaming introduced either this morning or a day or so ago. The prisoner will be a battleship, which is good for increased survivability, and the prisoner will no longer move. So you basically just have to defend this position. So if you stick a battleship right in front of it, or even both of your battleships right in front of it, and sacrifice your cruisers and destroyers, again, as long as one person survives, you will win the mode. But once again, I have linked my Discord in the description of this video. Join up, ask for some help. Also, we will be live streaming, probably not tonight, but Friday and potentially Saturday, trying to carry you guys to a victory on insane difficulty. Truth be told, I actually had a lot of fun completing, this event with you guys. A huge shout out to Toy, Jax, Death, and Dragon. I really appreciate those lads for joining me here, but I'll leave it to the final comms as we close in on the last 30 seconds here. Love you guys. Have a great day. I'm out. Peace. I don't have it. Get there, get there, get there. Get in front of him. Get in front of him. Let's go! Let's go! That's right! That's right! Let's go, boys! Let's go, dude! Let's go! Let's go! Third time's the charm, boys. Great fucking shit, lads. Let's go. Let's go. That's the way we do it.